everybody, Flick here. It's time for yet another Let's Look At, and today we're taking a look at Project Highrise by Somasim, I think is how you pronounce it. I apologise if I've said that wrong. And this is a skyscraper construction / management simulator, and I'd say that's a pretty accurate description. My time with the game so far has been to play through the tutorials, and thank you so much for including a proper tutorial system. Recently I covered the proper release of RimWorld, and it was hard to penetrate to RimWorld because there's so much going. Also, I just realised I just did an accidental innuendo. There's so much going on in that game and so little tutorialization that it's really off-putting to neophyte. Whereas this accurately covers enough that you can play the game with some confidence. So I definitely encourage you to play through these short tutorials to learn the game. That said, we will show off a new scenario, or a new game rather, and I shall show you the basics. Then we will skip to a save file I have in progress. Now, it's not actually that far along because I've restarted 3 times. Management simulators are not my bag for the most part. I like them, pardon me, but I'm just not very good at them. But anyway, let's jump into a new game. It doesn't really matter what we call it, so let's just say, let's look at how bad I am at capitalizing. You then get to pick a difficulty level. I've only been doing engineer, but maybe I should be doing contractor until I learn the order of the best way to build things. I'm not sure. Let's put that down to contractor. So what is this saying? Very generous amount of starting money. The economy is hot and tenants will be plentiful. Ah, right. My biggest issue with the game I have going that I want to show off is that even though I feel like I built everything right, I can't quite get my rent from my tenants to overtake the cost of building the offices and whatnot. So maybe I should be doing contractor. And then you have lot size, which is how big an area you have to work with. But we'll just do standard. Let's jump in and we'll take a look. So let me just make sure it's paused before we do anything. So this is how we start. And the general idea is we want to build up and up and up and up and up to make the world's most successful skyscraper. My god, you start with 20,000 on this difficulty? Alright, that's a bit of a leap. On the standard difficulty engineer, I think you have like 8,000. So that's a little generous. I'll try not to overspend it. Anyway, when we start in this mode, we start with a basement, which has stairs up to the ground floor. We have an office for our handymen who build everything. We have our power, and these are junction boxes which connect our power. So if we were to go like that, that is connecting power to this floor. There's something I always forget, and I usually, in my other save file, I usually go for like businesses, lawyer offices, office space, that kind of stuff. I've never tried going solely for like proper living apartments. So what we could do to start is we'll make a phone switchboard so we can provide phones for the building. We will also provide water for the building. I'm doing this because we have so much money on this difficulty level, and I'm going to provide gas for the building. And we also want to make a phone junction box. Oh no, that is countering phone. We want a water closet and a gas closet. Oh wait, no, that does both as well. Okay, we'll come out of that. We could also, if we wanted to, say, where's the bins again? There's recycling bins you can put down that only need 1 space. There we go. I don't know if that's required. It says that some buildings require it, but it has to be on their floor very specifically. So I don't think if I had an office that wanted, hey, we're only going to do recycling, they're not going to come down to the basement to do it. But that said, I think that might be the only 1 space thing you can build. So we'll see. So anyway, we'll unpause so my builders can get here, and I'll quickly show you how to build a floor, because that's basically what we're doing here. So there's the floor built. You can use lifts, but we're just going to do staircases for now, like so. And there's my builders. So they will work away, and what we could be doing is having a look at allocating space for our studio apartments. So they need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have room for 2 of them, right? No, I'm 1 shy because of the gas. Let's see if they actually need gas, because if they don't need gas, what I could do is remove it for now. Oh, wait, studio apartment. It can't be on the ground floor. Yes, of course, that makes perfect sense. So in that case, we are going to have to put an office on the bottom floor. We'll put an office right there. So as our advisor is saying up here, we can now click on this and see who is offering us some rent. So they were willing to pay rent of 200. They require electricity. We can do that. But they want courier services and copy services, which is 2 more rooms. I'd rather not do that. They also want copy services. They want copy services. They want copy services. Alright, more people than not want copy services. We shall bring in them. We shall build copy services. That's going to leave us with 2 spaces. That's unfortunate. We'll do that. I guess we could put a bin there or something. We can also just make the building longer, keep in mind, at least as long as you're on ground floor. I don't think you can extend the basement. I haven't actually tried that before. But yeah, so now we're going to get our first tenant in here, and the services they require are right next door. Generally, you also want at least somewhere to sell food to the building. But that requires 4 spaces as well, yeah. So we need 2 more. I guess I could just build out and put 1 there, actually. So, you know what? Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. They have to go through the water closet and the power closet to get there, but shut up, that's why. And we're also going to have a bin there, just so I have... No, actually, no. I would put down some... I believe I have access to plants without having to prestige anything. Maybe not. I can't remember where the plants are. I was... Oh, wait. You have to get prestige level 1 before you can do that. Yeah, on my other save file, I have what I call the plant room, because it's the only building... the only room in the entire building that has anything green in it. Alright, we'll wait. In fact, we can speed up time so they build a bit faster. There we are. Let him get the office in, and then the tenant will move in. Oh, I need to make sure he has power. Forgot about that. Yep, they're complaining about power. There you go. Alright, so the copy services are in, and there's the office. So hang on. So how this works is, we can click on it. We can see their satisfaction. Right now, they're very satisfied. There's the rent they're paying daily. There's their office hours. There's how many people they employ. And if you want to, you can increase their rent. So they have to pay more. They would have to be very happy with you to allow you to do that. But yeah, that means we're starting to bring in money, but we also have expenses. So right now, well, other expenses don't count. Recurring transactions are the ones that are going to matter at the end of the day. How much rent we're, or you know, how much we've spent on maintaining the place. But once they get this row done, well, we'll put the restaurant in there, and we'll start trying to build studio apartments up here. And we'll see how that goes. They will definitely require phone and power, but we've got that covered. We've got gas as well. We can probably afford to speed up time again here just to get some stuff done. So yeah, I think I've gone over the basic categories. Food, office, apartments, miscellaneous that they require, like for example copy services or bottled water or couriers. Lawyers need couriers, for instance. And then there's your basic building. Trash, storerooms, transit. Guess we could put there. Have a bin on me. So that's the top floor done. Well, the current top floor. There will be many more. So we could try and build ourselves a studio apartment here. So build 1 there, and before we do anything else with this floor, I want to know what it needs. Because as I say, I've been focusing on businesses rather than residential. So this person will pay 198 rent per day. That is much higher than standard difficulty. It cost me 100 to build. They need electricity and they need water. That's perfectly fine. Oh, it expects rather trash bins on the same floor. Well, aren't you a picky little thing? Okay, so they need all those things. Well, what we'll do is we'll also extend this floor so it's as long as the one below. And we shall put a wiring closet. If I put that there, will it link up? I hope it does. I think it does. They also wanted water. I sincerely hope that will link. It hasn't, so that leads me to believe it might not. I'm just thinking in the tutorial they were actually in line with each other. Alright. We're going to remove that. We're going to remove that. And we're going to put them over here. There we go. I want them on the edge of the building, not in the middle of the building, because that would make placement up above very annoying. We can still put the restaurant there. These need cleared by your people. Yeah, I know you need power. Hang on a second. You're not even working right now. What have you got to complain about? That's got to go in. That's got to go in. I don't think they need water, but there you go, because it's cheap. Well, I say that. Maybe that's a mistake I'm making. Maybe I'm assuming it's cheap. And there we are. They have power. So when they come back tomorrow, it's totally fine. So the studio apartment will get done. We have room for another one, actually. That would leave us with 3 spaces, and we only need 2 to build a bin that they require. So yeah, let's do that. Oh, I forgot to check what he needed. I assume it's the same. So water, power. They aren't asking for phones or TV, weirdly. And they want a bin, which we'll put there once these guys are finished. So that's the basic flow of starting out in Project Highrise. By the way, the game will be available on September 8th via Steam. This is what I'm currently playing on, and there will be a link to the Steam store page in the description box below. What is this? What does that symbol mean? Oh, they aren't here yet. I guess taking time to move. Could you get rid of that last little bit of box so I can make somewhere for them to buy food? Not just them, but the office worker as well. I'd very much appreciate that. Yeah, you go do stuff. Looks like they'll probably start on there. What was I saying? Yes, it's available on September 8th, and the asking price is £14.99. I'd say, you know, that's on the slight high end of what I consider for an indie game, but if you are into your management simulators, it feels like this one has enough depth that it's probably worth what they're asking. And there's my new tenant, I guess. Why do I feel like someone is watching me? Heavy breathing. Stairs are cheap. Oh, I accidentally pressed on the stairs, that's why. Yes, lifts cost more, but they take up less space, so it gives you more room to build on. What a boring person you are. You're just sitting there staring at your door. Oh, so what time is it? What time of day are you doing this at? Where's the clock? Oh, it's in... My speaker is hiding it in the bottom left. Anyway, we'll speed up because I want this... There we go. So now, we're going to bring in ourselves a little small cafe or food place. Let's see what's available. There's 2 food courts and no cafes because we don't quite meet... Ah, you need Prestige 1 for a coffee shop. Got it. Alright. They need electrical lines and they like high traffic areas. High traffic is going to be a bitch. Do we want bagels or do we want burritos? I'm sure the old lady up on floor 2 is going to love burritos, so let's get them in. They might end up getting dissatisfied with the lack of traffic where they are and leave. But to appease them, we could also build like another office here so there's a lot of throughput. Alright, someone's moving in there. And when we get to the end of the day, we'll get to see how much we've spent, how much we're going to have coming in. And very similarly to Prison Architect, there is contracts you can take, of which you are given rewards if you achieve them. More people needed. So that's if we get our population to 50, we'll get a reward of £2,000. 16 offices. Studio apartment, construct 10 of them. Or mix and match. I'm going to sign the contract for building 10. So we have 2 out of 10 studio apartments. We could essentially copy this floor. Oh yeah, I forgot they wanted bins. Yeah, we could copy this floor over and over. There's the bins that you want so badly. They should now be appeased. I'm going to wait until the end of the first day just to show you that report, and then I think we'll switch over to the other save file I was talking about, which is a little bit higher. And we'll try and sort the problem I'm having on that save file, because it's on a higher difficulty. So there's our other tenant who's just going to walk through the old lady's house. Speaking of her... Oh, she's sleeping. I thought she vanished. Hey, don't mind me. I'm your neighbour. There we go. He's going to sleep as well. Those clocks do not represent the actual time. Literally unplayable. Alright, let's speed up to the end of the day. There we go. So my revenue coming in daily is 500 whatever dollars, I guess. But my expenses, the expenses were mostly a result of me building stuff, which we can see here. So daily rent coming in is going to be 561. Daily expenses though is £1,000. One-time revenue, one-time expenses. We got a bonus for taking on that contract to help us fund it. But as you can see, even though we have 2 tenants, an office, and we're about to have a restaurant, we are losing $521 a day because our operating costs are too high. So you could, again, fine-tune rent. I have not had much success doing this, which is unfortunate. Although luckily, because we're playing on the easiest difficulty here, we have more than enough cash to have time to sort this issue. Generally, what you would probably want to do is build more floors, bring in more residents, meet the 10 required for this cash sum, and kind of progress that way. The proof of concept and other city contracts are there to help you along, the same way the prison architects, whatever they were called in that, were. So anyway, let's go back to the main menu, and I shall load up my other save, which I believe I called Flick's Apartment Stuff, yes. Okay, so let me talk you through what's going on here. We'll pause it for a second. Building on the same kind of ethos I had before, which was, well, ignore that there's a restaurant in the basement, okay? It's not meant to be there. All my kind of switch boxes down there, they're getting linked up here. We have offices all over the place. There's some courier services, copy center and courier services, more offices. And as you can see, I took the contract to get 50 people, and I'm currently doing a basic office contract. But I only have 3,000 and I'm losing 10% of that a day. My rent revenue is near the operating cost for the building, but it's not there yet. And that is very unfortunate. The other revenue is because I just took on those contracts. So we'll let time move normally. What are we going to do to sort this? Well, I want another lawyer in for a start. So I think what we're going to do is build 1, 2, 3, 4 there. 1, 2, 3, 4 there. And 1, 2, 3, 4 there. And we're going to let them build. And we're going to hope that bringing in 3 more tenants will hopefully make us actually go into the green. Because I haven't been able to do that yet. A couple of other things to talk about that weren't in that other game though is buzz, for one. So as it says there, it's generated by having popular retail stores, restaurants. Certain things happen that give you buzz. If you get enough buzz, you can do these things, which have an effect on, well, what you pick. So do you want to affect apartments, infrastructure, retail, offices? It's an effect on the workers or whatever, to whatever you need. If you want to give people a boost of morale so they don't leave, there's one option for you. I am also prestige level 1. There's how you can get more of it by having a certain number of people, for having artwork, which is super expensive, or, you know, having it goes down if people move out as well. Doing well, and then that also builds up to give you influence, and this is very much like the what were the trees in Civilization called? I'm blanking on it. Nope, I blanked on the word, but you know what I mean. The trees where you can kind of like pick certain buffs, and you can go down either aesthetics, politics, or operations, depending on what kind of skyscraper you're building. None of that will matter, however, unless I can get out of the red. And despite having 22 people, I'm still not there yet. There's how my wiring's looking, incidentally. Oh, I'm going to have to extend. Well, they'll probably just need power, but we'll check. And there's the construction level. There is a way, where was it again? The tutorial showed me how to change it so it shows you where the least happiest and most happiest people are. Oh yeah, and there's where you can take a loan as well if you get utterly desperate. Let's see. Oh, satisfaction. There we go. So these people are unsatisfied. This restaurant is super satisfied. Why are you so mad? Needs a greater variety of food court restaurants. Because we only have the one, and then down in the basement we have the cafe. Maybe we should bring in a little bit of a rival restaurant then. Bring in a food court one. They just need electricity in the like high traffic areas. They're all not offering a lot of rent. Sausage grill. Yes, I want a sausage grill. Am I making the right decisions here? Very possibly not. I honestly don't know. Let's speed up time here a little bit though. Alright, so we're going to finish that and we're going to put in another office, and we want it to be ideally a lawyer or an insurance agent. I did actually technically make a profit there. Oh hey, I am actually in profit now. Fantastic. Slow things down a minute. I forgot that it didn't take into consideration new tenants until the following day. Alright, we want a lawyer or an insurance agent. We'd have to advertise to get an insurance office. Legal, though, we have one office. What do you need? Electricity, we have courier, we have copy. Come on in. It's bugging me that this building is not symmetrical though, so I'm going to have to build more offices here. It must be done. Assuming it lets me. If it doesn't, then this building is getting razed to the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay, I'm satisfied. Got to watch out though that you're not using up more power than you're currently generating. Total production of 20 and we're using 17. So we are actually getting there for power. Telephones, 30% utilization, that's fine. So what we could probably do is build a couple, basically do what I've been doing, just add an extra room down here and make another power station. So we'll do that as well. And let's speed up time to get into the and see my skyscraper fill up with people. When it hits, what, like 7 in the morning probably, and it's currently 3. So I like the time I've spent with Project Highrise so far. Keep in mind these are just first impressions, I haven't spent a great deal of time with it. It's also not a genre of game that I'm good at, but I do enjoy. Do the tutorials first, for the love of God, if you get the game, because you need to learn the basics. There's a couple of menus I probably have forgotten to show off that the tutorials will take you through. They'll take you through also spending prestige or what you can do with it to bring in like decorative stuff. For example, like I was saying, I can do plants for free. Sadly, you can't just put them anywhere, so I have what I said. I have the plant room, the only room in the building with anything green in it. That's good enough. Now, let's try and get an insurance agent. Right, we're going to have to advertise. It's going to take 2 minutes, and then hopefully it's going to find an advertising agent who actually wants to move in. He has power. That's pretty good. So I think I've shown off as much as I need to show off. I am just playing the game at this point. If you want to see some really spectacular skyscrapers, definitely check out the Steam store page. There's some really, really fancy looking ones of just... They're way into the sky. It's actually quite nice to look at. Assuming it's all working properly. I finally found a way to get myself to profit, so for that I'm happy. But eventually you're going to have to keep on expanding if you want to improve. And eventually you will run out of contracts if you don't do more stuff. So there's some of the later ones. They want studio apartments, a bit of variety. But I'm focusing on doing these because I'll get lump sums of cash if I do them. We shall see. So I'm very surprised not enough people are here yet. Is it Saturday or something? Look at that poor guy. He's not serving anyone. He gets there super early. Ah, there we go. That's the copy service people. Or rather, that's the couriers people. There we are. Now the building's filling up. There we go. Now it looks like people are actually doing something. Did we find someone? Oh, we did. Expects copy services, we have it. Wants electricity, we have it. Come on in. So that means we're going to be short of the creative zone. I don't think I can actually hire creatives yet. Medium offices, large offices, no. Where are the creatives? I'm not sure. It's just different sizes of apartment. Ah, there we are. There we are. So why can't I do this yet? I need 10 influence, and I have none currently. So only select offices and some apartments. Ah, it kind of forces you to be diverse a little bit. So I am going to have to start building apartments. You know, you've got an office building. What I could do is build an apartment building over here, or over here, and kind of keep it separate from what I would call the professional one. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. The building is filled up. Things are actually going well now. There's more on the way. That is the general consensus. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. The gist of what you do in Project Highrise. You try and build the most impressive looking, successful skyscraper you can. Check it out on the Steam store page, linked below. It's released on September 8th. You'll probably be seeing that fairly early compared to that release date. But yeah, keep an eye on it if you like this kind of game. I think it's done it well. I can't really find anything to fault with it unless it just isn't your type of thing. It's not going to change your opinion if this is not your type of game. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time. Ta-ta for now.